Summer starts in Suki. I have to say, you look lovely today,
You look really nice. I was
Suki.
like, what's up with the Camp Westmont? Camp Westmont.
You like that, huh, Suk? That's the camp
I
that I went to. That camp. That's the camp I went to as a kid.
Is it cool still or is it not?
It's still right up there with all the cool camps.
But how come you didn't let your kids go to Camp Westmont?
I wanted my kids to go to Camp Westmont. They decided to go to another camp that they enjoy better.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
And Iliano Engelbrecht. Hi, it's Annie from Brooklyn. Hey, Annie, what's going on? Judy Rogers, hello. Lisa Lafreniere says hello. Lorraine Nichols says hello. Susan Smith saying hello. Jennifer Stoddard, hello as always. Sigel Worklaw. I hope I said your name right.
Suk, they know we're not giving out money for the first people on, right?
I love it. Debbie Hollinger saying hello. Michael Otis. Hi from Kingston. Sweetie Berkshire. Shy.
Wait. Hi from Kingston, New York? Oh, Kingston, New York.
Yeah, Kingston, New York.
I thought Jamaica.
Of yours?
No. I thought Kingston, Jamaica.
Oh, Dorothy Banfield from Kentucky saying hello.
Suki, I got a question for you.
Gorgeous weather, Annie. Annie, it would be gorgeous, but my husband decided to put this stinky something on my lawn and it smells.
What did he do?
Would you put corn fertilizer? He fertilized it, but he likes to do everything holistically, so it smells like doo-doo.
He put cow dung on your lawn, Suki?
It is disgusting. When I tell you, I told the kids, I picked them up, and they were at their cousins, and I was like, oh my gosh, just stick your head out. Daddy's doing something wonderful to the lawn. My son goes like this. It was awesome.
Hey, Suk, I got a question for you.
Yes, saggy balls.
Why did the ketchup blush?
I said saggy balls.
Nope, saggy balls is not the answer.
Now, why did the ketchup blush? Why?
Because it saw the salad dressing.
I think we gotta wait till night. Yard work too, Eric. Oh, please, Debbie. That's what we have to do to be in our house. Take care of your house, Scotty. You did the yard.
You know what's funny? No, I don't do the yard. I have landscapers for that, Suk. I'm a little too highfalutin for that. Out of nowhere, about 20 minutes ago, my mother sends me a text. Julia Roberts leaving LA amid financial problems. I said, why am I getting updates from you on Julia Roberts?
Julia Roberts having financial problems?
Yeah, a lot of celebrities having problems.
How is that possible when you earn $20 to $30 million a movie? I have no idea.
Neither do I.
Help me understand how anybody of those people can have any problem. Lisa Lafreniere is from Mechanicsville, New York.
Mechanicsville, New York. I know where that is.
And Iliano Engelbrecht is saying that it sounds like he used peat moss on the lawn. Did you use peat moss on the lawn?
Suki, didn't you once sleep with a guy named Pete Moss?
I did. Use stinky manure. What is it called?
Fertilizer.
It's called fertilizer, stinky manure.
Suki, I believe Mechanicsville, New York is up Route 17. Up around the Catskills, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's doing well. We got a great show for you. We got the main man, George Gray from The Price is Right. He's the announcer. Hi, Dill. We got Chrissy Mayer, who is a fantastic comedian, and she's also the host of The Wet Spot on Compound TV, I guess it's called.
Yeah. Didn't you sleep in the website last night?
Suki, here's another product that just arrived by Amazon. The 15th product this week. My daughter had to have for $25. This is a Nightlight Swan that every time you hit it, it changes color, which you're not seeing there, but it's changing color. This is the bills that I get. Every day when I look at my credit card, I see new Amazon selections that I know nothing about. And here's the newest one that just showed up.
Do you know where Regina, Saskatchewan is?
Yes, I do. It's actually Regina. And the reason why I know that is because I do commercials for WWE in Canada. and I have had to say Regina many times, and I always go every time I say Regina because I'm a 2-year-old. Yes, so I do the commercials of what WWE shows are coming to Canada.
Okay.
And Regina is one of those areas, along with Medicine Hat, one of my favorites.
Medicine Hat. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. London, Ontario. Here.
London, Ontario, Canada in the house. A lot of Canadians tonight, Suki. A lot of Canadians.
I love it. Your daughter is beautiful, Scott. Yes, she is. She's beauty. She looks like her mother.
Yeah. What I say, she looks like me.
She really does look just like you, actually. She's the female version of you. It's true. It's true. And actually, you know what? Your eldest daughter, Maddie, does look like your wife. That's kind
She's both gorgeous girls. Hey, Suk, what's the difference between a pregnant woman and a light bulb?
You get to screw one.
You're close. You can unscrew a light bulb. I'll be mixing these dirty jokes in throughout the evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Holbrook, Long Island, Louise Morelli Lupo. Holbrook, Long Island.
Holbrook, Long Island in the house.
So yeah, so that's that. So Scotty, COVID numbers continue to go up. Did you hear in China today? This is just my COVID update.
From China, ladies and gentlemen.
Scotty and I keep telling you about the surge. There's going to be this surge that's going to happen. Well, everybody's saying, yes, it's headed in that direction. By October, we'll be well over 200,000 deaths. I just can't imagine that number. And they're saying a record number of people in Arizona, Florida are coming down with COVID, and guess they're below the age of 35.
Yeah. So listen, it's all the whole dynamic and demographic is going to change because of all of the getting together of people without wearing masks. I had a buddy of mine who I was talking to today who told me he was down at the shore over the weekend and he was on the boardwalk, which was absolutely packed. And he said he only counted, because he's a lunatic, he counted 125 people wearing masks.
Out of all the people that he was
out of all the people walking around.
Wow.
So listen, right. I'm trying to stick to it. I know it's nice out and people sometimes don't care. You're still seeing shots of people walking the streets protesting, even just here in New York, and the streets are packed. And like you, Suk, I'm hearing the same thing. This thing is just going to kick back in over the summer.
You're seeing it in China. China's trying to mitigate it because they don't want to have another Wuhan on their hands, right?
Yeah.
Which basically, decimated, the world, really.
Suki, didn't you once date a man named Wuhan?
He hung low.
Oh, me hung low. Yes. Yes.
Anyway, you know what Sweetie Brookshire says? It's going to be over 300,000. I think. Really, Sweetie? I really hope not. I think we would completely decimate our medical facilities if that was that.
Suki, did you know that Sweetie Brookshire was my college radio name back in the day?
Was that really?
Oh, absolutely. Sweetie Brookshire with you, WSUCFM in Cortland, New York. Hi, everybody. Sweetie Brookshire taking you into the overnight.
Polar Giordano says she lives in Ridgewood, New Jersey. Bergen County looked like a street fair. No masks, people walking around eating. Very, very scary.
Oh, Paul, I love Ridgewood, New Jersey.
Well, a lot of people are moving into phase 3, right, honey? We were watching on the news, phase 3. So hair salons, nail salons, all of this is going to open. I mean,
Paula, my wife right now in Ridgewood, New Jersey, outdoors having drinks with friends.
All right.
So if you want to go see her, she'll gladly buy you a drink, Paula.
All right. So anyway. So I don't know, Scotty. We keep talking about this, and I don't know if anybody's really listening to what we're saying.
To us?
I don't know.
To us?
No, but you know what I'm saying. I just don't understand. Do they think it went away with the heat?
I think a lot of.
They think because you're tired of the lockdown, the virus is not going to kill you.
Yeah, and the craziest thing is, you got this guy who we call the president of the United States. He's looking to have 20,000 people in an arena in Tulsa.
Yeah,
He doesn't even talk about it anymore, Suk. It's unbelievable how this, everything's just, it's all about the narrative and what's important to President Trump doesn't even talk about it anymore.
Yeah, he talked about police reform today. He that Bolton is coming out with his tell-all book, so that's kind of interesting. He's already countersued, saying that they put top secret information that was discussed, that confidential. I don't know. We'll see. The book's coming out next week. There's a lawsuit in place saying confidential information was in that book that should not have been in that book, et cetera, et cetera.
John Bolton. That's the guy with the crazy mustache and the glasses, right? Looks like Einstein.
Yeah. Bill wanted to know, is your hubby doing the dishes
again? Is that a surprise, Bill?
Bill, you haven't actually been here
very long. Bill, apparently you're new to this program.
My wife cooked a great meal. Do you know what I made today?
What?
I made a little bucatini with pesto.
A little bucatini.
And then I took a flounder and I made like little breadcrumbs with Parmesan and a little bit of lemon zest, fresh parsley.
Nice.
Baked it, put it under the broiler, put it on top of the bucatini, and boom, bam, there's a meal.
Didn't you once date a guy named Bucatini?
Yes, I did.
All right, Suk, we're just waiting on our boy, George Gray, to log in.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. I just wanted to say that also one of the other headlines, which I thought was crazy. Did you see what happened about that? Did you just get a bell ring?
I did. That's George. He just walked into the green room. I have M&Ms and champagne for him waiting.
Okay.
So, what were you going to say? And then we'll bring George in.
It's crazy video that this father in a car in California somewhere drove off a cliff with his 2 children.
Oh,
they were able to save everybody.
Oh, really?
Into the water.
So there's a happy story.
Not really, because he apparently did it intentionally. I want to be like, there's some charges against him. I haven't read the whole thing, but it was. Thank goodness he didn't kill the kids. Let's just say that, Listen, if you have mental issues, go get your help. Don't kill your children too. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Suk.
I'm telling you. Anyway, so that's that.
Suki, before we get to George, let me liven things up and ask you, what do you call a useless piece of skin on a penis? A man. George, how are you, my friend?
Hey, Suki Scott, what's going on?
There he is, ladies and gentlemen, George Gray.
George, I love that setup. Where are you? I feel like I want to hang out with you right now. Now.
We are hanging out right now. This is actually I'm in St. Louis. I bought back my childhood home with my sister and brother-in-law in 2004, and I come back here and hang out. So, in the Midwest.
Did he freeze on us?
You get basements, so I got like 2,000 square feet down.
George, I think you froze, but I think you got it. Can you sign back in? I think we lost you. You're down in that bunker.
Down in a bunker, and we lost the signal, Georgie.
So
George, sign out.
It's all a bar here.
George, apparently you could buy a basement, but no Wi-Fi service down in that basement, huh? He'll come back. He'll come back in.
All right.
I love it. Suk, you and I are the only ones with good Wi-Fi service these days.
We had to upgrade. People were getting upset at us when we didn't have good Wi-Fi service.
Yeah, remember? We were the ones who were freezing up.
I know, and you were like making fun of me because it was like this.
Let's see, he's back.
George,
how you feeling, baby?
George.
That was super. You know what? I had you guys. I could see me. I could see you. I saw everything. My signal was good. I don't know what happened.
George, I said apparently you could buy a basement, but not Wi-Fi service there.
Oh, no. I heard you just fine, Scott.
We're killing you, George.
Yeah. You didn't think I heard that. I did.
George, how are you feeling first and foremost? How are you doing?
Good. Yeah. Actually, today's Tuesday. Yeah, I don't even know what day. You know, that's the thing with the pandemic, the zombie apocalypse. You don't even know what day of the week it is.
Yeah.
Yesterday was my 8-week anniversary, I guess, for my heart attack and my first 2 surgeries.
Right.
And I've been walking a lot, getting 1.5 miles, 2 miles a day, and actually jogged for 100 yards.
Wow.
So I was pretty impressed.
Great.
Although I've told Brittany, my wife, it's like, I'll only do this if nobody's watching, but it hurts my boobs, so I have to run like this.
Oh, that's a Suki runs like that too, George.
I strap them down, George. Now you know how we feel.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm part of the world, man. I need a sports bro.
George, listen, let's get everybody, let's get everybody wrapped up for you here. I want to just throw something. I got a couple videos that I want to put on.
Right.
So let me just get everybody, back into what you're doing here.
Sure.
How much are the paddle boards?
Oh crap! Oh crap!
Yeah.
Oh, George. Oh God, that's hysterical. She went right for you.
You know, it's a gift. What can I
Good
say?
one.
That's why you had a friggin' heart attack, for God's sake. I love the slow-mo.
So, you know what? Some people just really want a TV.
George, I remember, and I have it up here. I could run it if it's okay with you, because I remember I was doing sports at our old TV station here in New York.
Yeah.
And I know everybody was playing that clip of you with the treadmill.
Of course. Yeah. I think that's one of the
George,
greatest moments in my career.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna pull that one up. Hold that.
That's my opus.
Yeah. I think that was my highlight of the night.
George, I have fallen on live TV off the anchor
Yes.
desk, and I've actually,
Really?
as I'm reading, I'll go, oh.
Yeah, there's some good
How many
video.
Mai Tais? Was it a lot of Mai Tais? With a lot of...
It's at 2 a.m. in the morning,
Right.
like morning shows,
Okay, this is good.
Here you go. All right.
George, what do we have for public Rainwood here, George?
They said it couldn't be done. It's an off-road motorcycle, a new range, and a new treadmill. First, this Honda CRF.
Oh my God, you keep going. It's amazing, George.
125cc, 4-speed transmission.
Everyone's like,
George,
worried
true
about you.
professional, man. You never stopped going.
Because I didn't want to do the retake. Yeah, it's funny. I actually, when that happened, I knew that I would have to do the audio again. And so I'm like, I can still do it. So I did it. And then after the take, they came over and, are you okay? And, Drew's dying laughing. And the executive producer, his name's Mike Richards, he was on the show for years. And he came over and I said, please tell me you got that on camera. Because I was off camera at the time. But it's a 5-camera show. So I said, was there a camera on me? And he went, uh-huh. And I said, please tell me you're going to use it. He goes, oh, we're going to use it. I was like, yeah.
Oh,
Yes. It was great. I mean, it was so fun. I loved it. They actually, it was American Sniper had just come out, and they were doing like epic fails in sports and stuff. And they would show the American Sniper like leaning in, and then like you hear pew like that.
You
and
go down.
And they did that with me. And I was like, yeah, all right.
Can I tell you, everyone's like, did you get hurt? Or were you just like, it was just so quick and you're just like, when things happen on TV, you're just like, let me get up and I'll figure out if I got hurt later.
Luckily, I fell square on my ego. So I was cushioned a little bit.
George, let me ask you a question. When I was a kid, I remember I used to watch Price is Right was one of my favorite shows. That's one of the reasons why I grew up. I always wanted to be a game show host because of Bob Barker, and he got to hang out with Janice Dickinson and Wright and Diane. She was my favorite.
Diane Penning, something with a
Pennington, Diane Pennington.
Pennington. Yeah.
But anyway, but Rod Roddy was, he was like the voice, right?
Yeah.
And I know you're a couple of guys removed from him.
One guy.
Oh, it's just one, right? Who was the guy before you?
So it's a super easy list. because which I think is huge honor. In almost 50 years of this show, there's been 3 other dudes,
Yeah.
3 with the permanent job, and 2 of them went out in a pine box. That's pretty impressive.
Wow.
So
Wow.
Johnny Olson had the job until he died, and
That's
Johnny
Johnny
Olson.
Olson.
Johnny Olson was an old school announcer. He
Yeah.
was the voice of the Honeymooners.
Yes.
And Johnny, I don't know, maybe you occasionally saw him on camera, but he was old school. He was an announcer. And then Rod Roddy, so once he passed, Rod Roddy took over the job, and Rod Roddy was a bigger than life personality,
Yeah.
huge fan base, all the sequin jackets, and he had the job until he passed. And then a guy named Rich Fields had it for a decade. So that's like nothing in Price is Right world.
That's it.
In any TV show, a decade's huge. He had the job for a decade, and now it's me, and we're going back to taking me out in a pine box. So I'm going to continue that tradition.
Say that, not
You're
gonna
going to need a crowbar. No, I'm not leaving. I mean, I almost left about 8 weeks ago, but I'm not leaving voluntarily.
And did you have to audition for that job, or they picked you?
No, we actually auditioned. What they did is it was 6 of us, I think. I think it was 6 of us did on air kind of auditions. So it was actually like Brad Sherwood from Whose Line. He was one of the guys. I remember I think he went 2 before me. And Jeff Davis, another Whose Line guy, genius. He went, I think he was right before me. So each guy got 20 episodes on air. So, I mean, you were getting a real-time audition.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, they were going to pick. And I remember watching Jeff Davis's 20, and I was like, oh, my God, he's really good. And I knew I didn't stand a chance because first of all, he was genius. Really, he's one of the funniest improv guys around. And knew Drew forever. Their chemistry was amazing. Really, they're buddies. They just knew each other. I was like, man, I just don't stand a chance. And I saw him at the Improv, and we were talking about like the show, and I was like, he's like, oh, so you're excited about it? I'm like, well, I don't know. I mean, it's we'll find out. And he went, oh no, they cut me. They didn't pick up my option. And I was like, excuse me. And I remember going outside in the front of the Improv and going,
That's
I lost it. It was awesome.
Oh, that's got to be great, man. That's got to be great. I think when I saw you take over, I fired my agent for not getting me an audition on the show.
I mean, you've got a great voice for it. You really.
Thank you, George. Come on
See?
down, my friend. Yes.
See, I think, you'd think I would get used to my voice, but I've never been an announcer. I don't.
Yeah.
When I hear my voice, it's like nails on a styrofoam chalkboard. It's just terrible. It's just the worst.
I love it.
But
can I ask you, do you have a favorite game that's on there? Is it Plinko? Is it High Low? Is it, what is it? I know for me, it's the guy.
Or yodeling.
yeah,
The yodeling
Cliffhangers.
game. Yeah, that was always good.
Yeah, Cliffhangers is really fun. Everybody loves that. Everybody loves Plinko. Everybody loves Plinko. Like, sometimes.
It's big money, George.
What's that?
It's big money.
Well, yeah. You know what, though? Actually, I think people win between a couple thousand and usually maybe 12,000 a time. Still awesome money. But what's funny is I don't know why this is. I think it's human nature. We just kind of do what we do. Almost everybody, when they get up there and they go to drop the chip, they always drop to their far right first.
Right.
Why? I don't know. Well, statistically, mathematically, your best shot is to drop it dead center, slowly and gently, and let it work its way to the center. If there's pegs, it's going to go where it goes. But statistically, and there are math nerds who have run this, like that's your best shot. So they'll go to the right, and it kind of generally stays right. They'll go to the left, and then it generally stays left. And then they'll flip, and the last one is typically in the center, and that's the one that has the best shot of hitting 10 grand.
Wow.
So I'm kind of always willing people, like, drop it in the center.
Yeah.
But you know what? People, and this is true, I've told Drew, like in front of the audience, people would actually pay $20 to come up on stage and drop a Plinko
To
chip.
try it.
Like, so if they don't win on Plinko, Bless you. I think instead of bless you, we should just change to say Corona.
Yeah,
Wouldn't that be
Corona.
nice? I think it would just be way better. Corona.
Suki, get tested, would you? Thank you.
I think really, if people don't win anything on Plinko, they're thrilled to have gotten up there and dropped that chip. It's just something awesome.
Love it. And I remember I had the game where you'd have to pick the price of the car, and you'd have the front of the car and the back of the car. Are they still doing that one?
Yeah. Yes. That's not any number. Which one? The money game. Money game.
Money game. And I remember Bob Barker used to, when back in the day when they would do the golf, the putting, he would knock that thing down almost 100% of the time from way back.
Right.
And then he would make the other people who had to do it look like fools because they would move up closer and they couldn't put it in the hole.
Well, I mean, Bob likes to golf. I mean, there's almost no better golfing movie than Happy Gilmore.
Oh, yeah.
But we still play that game, and it's called Hole in One.
Yep.
Or two, and that's the fun part. Is like because a lot of it's a short distance for a putt, and the hole. I know on camera it's probably hard to see, but you're trying to hit it into a bucket. It's not a normal
golf hole.
No. Well, the golf ball is normal. The hole you're hitting it into is way bigger.
That's
right. And also you can hit it off the back, like
and bounce
miniature golf. Yeah.
But people get, I love the fact that they get 2 tries because it gets the nerves out of your system. I mean, it's easy for us to go, come on, that's, no pressure. How about 350 people, all the cameramen, hundreds of crew, millions of people watching on television, and you're taking a putt for about $25,000.
Right.
Now, it's amazing how if I said, okay, all you have to do is snap your fingers, but you get 1 try, I bet half the people would go,
I can't do it.
Yeah. Wait, I know I got this. Can I have another try?
Can I tell you the funniest story? My grandma came here, didn't speak a lick of English, but you know what? It was the game shows from Wild Card. Remember that? Joker.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
Remember that? I mean, we watched, I think, everything. Match Game, Joker's Wild.
Wild, yeah.
Price is Right was her favorite. She just fell in love with Bob Barker. I don't know. This Indian woman fell in love with her. Learn how to speak English. She'd be like, no, that's $1.69. She didn't speak English. I went to college back in the days. I had to set up my TV while I'm taking out the crates, put the little bunny ears out. She's like, time for Price is Right. So my roommate from, I don't know, I think she was from Ohio at the time, came in and there's my grandmother going, shh, 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 Bob Barker on. I was like, oh my God.
That's great.
Like, yeah. So
where did your grandmother emigrate from?
From India.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Sorry, sitting there with her bare feet on my bed, looking at Barker.
Oh my God. I would love to hear her. You're paying too much for corn. That is not right.
Exactly.
The pillow pad.
And
to your grandmother. I love that.
She was like, I just wish I could speak English so I can be on that. And I was like, don't worry. We'll get there one day. We'll get to the prices. This is the closest I've gotten.
You got to come out sometime.
Oh, I would love that.
We're going to do it.
I'd love that.
Come out sometime. If you're you're going to be in LA, get a hold of the Goon Squad. You be my special guest. They give you your own parking space. You get your name on the parking space. VIP, la-di-da. You come up on stage.
How many shows a day, George? How many shows you guys doing a day?
2.
Just 2?
We've actually done 3 shows. I think, it's just like any other show. They're trying to move with the times, although Price is Right moves a little slower.
Yeah.
We're a glacier. So when I came on, it's almost my 10-year anniversary. In November, it'll be my 10.
Wow.
And when I first came on, it would be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 2 shows a day, 8-hour day. Wow. And then we do 2 or 3 weeks on, 1 week off. So you get 10-day hiatuses. And we kind of shoot almost the entire year, short summer break, short winter break. And now they're kind of compressing a little bit. And so we've shot a few 4-day weeks. We've shot a few 3-show days. And what that does is, it's a little more of a grind. But the good part is then we get longer summers. Mm-hmm. We wind up with 3.5-month summers. That's pretty fun. Then I come back to St. Louis and be a hillbilly.
That
I
is
love
great.
it. I love
Good
it. What's
stuff.
it like being back home in St. Louis right now?
I'm sorry.
What's it like being back home right now?
Fantastic. Mama May is here. If anybody, if you ever hear me say hi to Mama May, that's my 84-year-old mom,
Mom.
and she watches the show every day. She says I'm great. But yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, I love old cars, motorcycles, boats, anything with an engine. So we've got something in the back that we call the Garage Mahal. My brother-in-law and I built it. We got tons of old vehicles, and it's a playground for us turning wrenches and stuff. So
Very cool.
I love it. Why do they still use that? Is it just for nostalgia purposes? They use that long, skinny mic that Bob used to hold.
I think so, but I really like it.
No, it's cool. I love that thing.
I think it's neat. Although the difference is Bob's was hardwired for a long
Right,
time.
right. Bob's had the hard wire.
There was no wireless. There was a hello, are we reaching? Yeah, and so but I love it. It also reminds me of Gene Rayburn. Remember
Yes.
him?
Yes. Yeah, from Match Game. From Match.
Yeah, he'd hold it way down here. Yeah. He opened the door and touched her blank.
Blank. Yeah. Right.
Now he said to Johnny, oh,
With Charles Nelson Riley and right, Brett Summers and
Brothers.
remember those guys?
Oh my God! Of course, amazing.
You had Brett Summers. What's his name from Family Feud? Richard Dawson
Richard
was always on.
And
Great.
Paul Lynde was always one of my
Paul
favorites.
Yeah, like Elkie Summer, all these old names, right? That was wild.
Mitzi Russell, absolutely,
It was the best.
absolutely. Those are
Charles
great.
Nelson Riley. Well, listen, a lot of people are asking,
Yes.
how do you get prepared and warm up for the gig? So I'm going to answer it for them. I got a little something I want to play
Okay.
where I'm going to show folks how you get ready for your job every day.
Okay.
All right, hold on.
I can't wait.
Let's see what we got here.
He's getting it ready.
Getting it ready. Da-da-dee.
Okay, time to practice. Time to practice. Time to practice. Here we go. Come on down. Come on down. Come on down. Bingo. Bajo. Oh, hey, Lindsay.
You're really good at that.
Oh, thanks. I've actually had a lot of practice at it. Oh, hey, buddy. How'd you get so high up there? Come on down. Come to Daddy. Come on down. Oh, you got the... Ah! Ah! Hey, over here. Okay, Mr. Pilot. Come on down. Alpha Tango Bravo, we got George in the helipad again. Yeah, I know. Hi, everybody, welcome to Big G's House of Cars. I'm Big G. We got new cars. We got sports cars. We got old crappy cars. We even have a sand car if you're a little old lady from Pasadena. No credit. Hey, that's no problem. Bad credit, no problem. Don't like boxy mustaches, partner? That's a problem. Come on down to Big G's House of Cars because we're slashing prices. Not tires. So this is Big G saying, come on down for a groovy deal.
That's the best.
The show started.
Oh, thanks. Time to say my 3 favorite words. All right, here we go. Bob, give me some sugar. Woo!
Love it.
I forgot
There you go.
about that. I haven't seen that. I think since we shot it. That
You never saw it?
I obviously love doing the Big G's car
You
sale.
were good at that. Very good at that.
That's my father's Firebird 1969 Firebird convertible. That I
Oh,
still
was it?
Yeah. And I was really excited because I'm like, are you sure I can do a burnout in the parking lot? I don't want anybody yelling at me.
Oh, that's great.
No,
George,
it's
when do
fine, burnout.
you guys get back to it? When do you get back to work? Any idea?
I have heard rumors that it would be in August, but
Okay.
obviously everything's fluid right now. I could tell you that we are absolutely, everybody wants to get back. Cannot wait. Really excited. And, at first blush, I was like, how long is it going to take me to feel good?
Yeah.
And, I'm jogging after 8 weeks. If you don't know, I had a heart attack. It was a lot of fun. And, but like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to do this. So, and everybody I talk to, I know they're just chomping at the bit. So as soon as they say we can, we're doing it.
All
All right. Well, listen, if Suki and I get out there to come see you, little VIP action, even before the show, maybe I get on the mic, a little one come on down. Is that possible?
Does he ask for much?
He does. He wants it all.
And I want a little Danish in the green room, if that's all right.
Maybe have a little breakfast with Drew at his house. I'm just
yeah, we want to hang with Drew.
We'll spoil you. I promise. You come to the show, we'll take care of you.
Locks and
George,
bagels.
thank you, buddy. Thank you so much for hanging out with us for a little bit.
Hey, it's fantastic, man. It's great to see you guys. Everybody be well.
George,
And
your
you know what? I
favorite-
take it back. The Wi-Fi service in St. Louis is goddamn good.
Look at that, huh?
George, take care, buddy. Feel good.
George, the best.
Bye-bye. Huh? He's
Great.
great, huh?
You know what? Some people are just the best.
What a nice guy, Sue. Nice guy.
Another person who you're just like, God, I think wow.
Yeah. I think you had a little crush on him, it seemed like.
Down to earth. He was funny, he just is recovering from a heart attack. He's
Yeah.
positive. He just, loves his wife, loves his mama May. I mean, like,
Got
what
a
is there not to love about somebody? You got to root for people like that all the time.
Yeah. Suki, our next guest, is already in the green room with us.
Chrissy.
I want to bring her in. There she is. Chrissy, how
Hi,
are you?
guys. Oh, my God. Hi, Scott and Suki. This is
Hi,
so
Chrissy. You're the best.
exciting.
How are you?
You're the best. Wow.
Now, Chrissy, Suki and I were taking bets because it's Mayr. So is it
34
Mayor
double
without the
D.
D?
Oh.
We're gonna get to those in a second.
Okay.
Is it Mayor or Mayor? How do you say your last?
Mayor. Yeah,
It
like
is Mayor.
John Mayer. Yeah.
Okay. So we played your Twitter video the other day of the I Take Responsibility.
It's
a lot
very
of folks-
important.
A lot of folks may not have seen it. I loved it. Suki loved it. So I want to play it again. And then we'll talk about you. And we certainly want to talk about the Wet Spot show that you do. Because we're all about, the wet spot stuff. So
Sounds
I
good.
think slept in it last night.
Good for you.
that's possible. All right, here we go. Let me pop this up. And I just want to remind everybody.
I take responsibility.
Oh, God.
Imagine there's no heaven.
I take responsibility.
I take responsibility.
Oh, is this one of those videos where we say the same thing over and over again
I take responsibility
for dramatic effect?
for every unchecked moment, for every time it was easier to ignore than to call it out for what it was.
Every not so funny joke.
A black dude walks into a bar.
Every blatant injustice, no matter how big or small.
Every time I remained silent.
Every time I explained away police brutality.
I mean, everybody knows statistically that there's actually more. Ooh, okay. No, we're not getting into facts. Okay.
Or turned a blind eye. I take responsibility.
Just to be clear, we aren't taking responsibility, right? This video is literally all we're doing, right?
I will no longer allow an unchecked moment. I will no longer allow racist, hurtful words, jokes, stereotypes.
Could this be for the veterans or the homeless or no? Okay.
I will not turn a blind eye. Going for a job should not be a death sentence. Sleeping in your own home should not be a death sentence.
Is Gal Gadot doing this one?
Business as usual should not be life-threatening. I stand against hate.
I stand against hate. I stand against hate.
So we don't have to physically stand up, right?
I will stand against hate in love.
I don't have to kneel or anything, right? I can just do this instead of going to a protest. My agent said I could just do this instead of going to a protest.
I will make my presence known.
And killer cops must be prosecuted. They are murderers. We can turn the tide. It is time to take responsibility. call out hate, step up, and take action.
This was literally the least we could do. Ooh, thanks.
I gotta tell you, that was
Yay.
great.
Out the hypocrisy of
Thanks,
it all.
guys.
Kudos.
Chrissy, how come, it's funny, folks, a couple of folks on here say that they sound like they're hypnotized. How come these celebrity videos don't go over the way the
They want to.
producers and the celebs want them to?
Because they're acting. You know what I would appreciate so much more than what we just saw would be like, tell me your real feelings about what's going on. Like, I want to hear the clunky, improvised, ineloquent version of your
Yeah.
real feelings, because
Mhm.
from like everybody looking at that, like the regular people looking at that are going like, you're an actor, you're doing pretty well. Like, I don't know if you've struggled in your life with racism or anything else, and you're just kind of coming off like insensitive. It's inauthentic. And they're acting it so hard. It's like, that they were in like their bathrooms looking in the mirror like, like how many takes did this take? It's like the guy from Breaking Bad. It's like, I liked him better when he was making blue meth. To me, that was
Right,
more
when he was
believable.
Jesse. When he was
Yeah.
Jesse.
That was more genuine than this crap. Yeah.
No.
I think you're right, but I think that would take too much to take away the veil for most artists and actors. I mean, I think they're used to standing behind that veil and getting paid a lot of money to do that. So I think to be average like the rest of us schmucks sitting here having a real conversation would be devoid of what they are capable of,
Yeah, I would so much rather like, let's hear the imperfect conversation. Like,
Yeah.
not like you have to say anything that's like gonna get you canceled, although I don't think that should be happening to anybody anyway. It's just I would so much rather hear like someone's real feelings than like
On something, yeah.
uber polished. Like, it's so clear that everybody got the same script and you can
Yeah.
see their eyes moving back and forth. It's like, did you write your own cue cards? Did they send them to you? Like, do you have a hair and makeup person there too? So it was fun to do this video because in the very beginning of Corona, it was like second week of March when things were shutting down. Gal Gadot,
Yeah.
Wonder Woman, made a video with her and her like Hollywood friends singing Imagine, and that was supposed to bring us all together, like, oh,
No.
we're all one. And I did a parody of that too. It wasn't singing Imagine, but it was me and my comedian friends, and we sang that song, Everybody Was Kung Flu Fighting, and we all did a line of the song. And like you guys both just laughed, which is great, which was
Yeah.
the intended purpose. But I got so much flack for that. People thought that I made up the lyrics to that song. They thought that I wrote that song, and I was like, I'm not even the person. I didn't even come up with the term kung flu. Like that had been a trending Twitter topic for weeks already. So I got like a lot of hate from that. So I was like, all right, I'm going to do this again, because when I saw that other celebrity video that came out last week, I was like, all right,
Yeah.
here we go again.
And
So.
you got so many retweets on that. That's how I saw it, because some of the people I follow, and I think it was up. It's got to be over 100,000 views on Twitter, right?
Let me check.
Yeah,
No.
check it out.
Yeah.
Because you got a ton of them. I'll give you $20 if you could tell me who really sings Kung Fu Fighting.
Oh crap! I know that I knew at the time, because I was like furiously writing people back like, I didn't write this. I know it's from the 70s.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm really blanking. I'm sorry. I'm like
Carl Douglas.
Carl Douglas. Okay.
Yeah.
Ha! Yeah.
So Compound is what? Is that a digital TV?
It's a subscription, like a network. So you have to subscribe. It's not like just on YouTube. And the network was started by Anthony Cumia, he's the A from O&A, Opie and
Yeah. Oh,
Anthony.
yeah. All right, Aunt. That's it. Compound.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I forgot all about that.
Yeah. And so I have my show, The Wet Spot, every Monday at 8 p.m. EST. And I've been doing the show there for, it's like about a year now. The pilot was in June, and then the first like official episode was in July. And it's been really great. I've interviewed like sex experts. Like, I always like to have people on that know more than me. So I'll have like porn stars on, comedians, like, random degenerates. We have like a group of super fans who will like come into the studio and watch the show, and you can call in and ask questions. You can email questions and we'll answer them live on the show for you. We've also been doing, since the shutdown, putting together like clip shows, like, oh, what's the best, I don't know, sex position during COVID? And then everybody sends in an answer. Oh, and your child's here. Great.
Here she comes, right on cue.
Yeah, she was made during those processes.
But nothing could top the what was the reporter on CNN and his kid was in the background.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, yes.
They're like, get
No, I think he was talking about like, the Chinese politics. And he was like, and by the way, and the kid's like, and then I think everyone thought it was the nanny, remember? But it was his wife who happened to be Asian. They're like, oh my God, that's his nanny in the back.
That was a bad look, right?
Yeah,
Everybody was
like, no, that's my wife, not my nanny.
So Chrissy, what are some of like, the top questions, that people call in to the show about? What do people need to know about sex these days?
It really depends on who's on the show. Like if it's like a well-known porn star who has a lot of like fans, they'll call in and be like, oh, just so and so, where do they live, or like what do they are they single? And a lot of these girls have to like, maybe they're married or have a serious boyfriend, but they can't really like let that be well known. But a lot of times, like people will call with like, this girl hasn't been writing me back. Like, what should I do? They're more like everyday questions, which is like pretty nice to see. Like,
like relationship type of stuff.
Yeah.
It's not like I just got a rubber vagina from Amazon and
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I do have one fan, and he's I don't know if he's all there, but he will call every week and ask me if I squirt, and I like every like clockwork, every single, and I'm like, Jesus, Michael, I don't know, like he's a nice kid.
Is that Anthony calling in under a surname?
Oh my gosh.
No.
Well, Christy, now that you mentioned it, all of our viewers want to know, do you?
Oh boy.
Give me a minute.
So, Chrissy, do you feel like you are the modern day, like Dr. Ruth, kind of connecting people with their issues and like kind of being the conduit? Would you say that you would be that?
That would be great. That would be a huge compliment that I would definitely accept. Yeah, I would. Any sort of comparison to like a Joan Rivers, I would accept. Like sometimes people be like, because it's the thing is a lot of people don't have a female comic frame of reference. So they'll end up saying like, oh, you're like Amy Schumer, but different. And I'm like, no, we're completely different. But it is fun. And I also have a podcast that I do on the side. It's called the Chrissy Mayer podcast because I couldn't think of another name for it. I was like, oh, should I call it the Ho Rogan Experience? But
the Ho Rogan, I like that.
And that's when I'll do one-on-one interviews and that is a little bit more serious. Like, yeah, of course it's fun, but then like the wet spot is like the fun panel interview. So I really like meeting people, and I feel like especially now. There's like we hear a lot from the left, we hear a lot from the right. So what I like about my podcast is like, I'll interview kind of people in the middle or libertarians or people who are more like, what's going on? Like the voices you don't hear a lot from. And it's just good. I think between like the wet spot and my own podcast, it gives me a chance to like get to know a lot of different people. And what's great with Compound Media is then the other shows on the network will be like, oh, wow, I really liked the guests you had last week. And then they'll get them on their show and becomes like a whole big, like, family of contacts.
It was funny the other day, 2 days ago, I'm driving in the car. I got my 10-year-old daughter in the back, and I think she just likes to freak me out a little bit on purpose. So it's just the two of us. And she says, Daddy, can I ask you a question? And I'm just driving along. We got the top down, beautiful day. She says, how does the vagina fit the baby coming out? Like, how does the baby come out and the vagina? And I was like, I said, well, honey, the vagina does some incredible things. But maybe you want to ask Mom about this one. I think when a woman's pregnant, the vagina does do some pretty wild things, and it makes room for the baby. That's really the one way it can come out. And she says to me, she starts laughing. She says, I love having these conversations with you.
Oh my gosh. And she was 10?
Well, she's 10. Yeah, she's 10 years old.
Wow. But good for you. Because I never had any kind of talk. I had to just learn it all in the streets.
Yeah.
So.
Like all of us.
Yeah.
I learned most of it from the Spice Channel, Playboy magazine.
But yeah, I'm sure you weren't expecting that question at all. And I
Yeah,
think
that
you
wasn't the
handled it.
question. I was like, hey, can we get some lunch? You know, but it
Yeah.
was a little vagina size question. So,
But at least you weren't like got out your iPhone and were like, here, just watch this, you know? Like,
But you know what? I think like with COVID, it probably has to put sex in a different context for a lot of people, right? I would imagine that there's a lot of like virtual sex or like let's get into I don't know how anybody goes about like creating or engaging that connection.
yeah,
I would think that it takes a little bit more, right?
this is really a hard time for people that are single. I've also like this time period, which most of us haven't experienced anything
Yeah.
like this in our lifetime. It's like what's called a relationship accelerator. So it's like bad marriages are probably gonna not survive this. If it's like if you've just been going based on the fact that you're just ships passing, you know, and now you have to spend 3 months with the person, you're like, and you realize things aren't great, okay, you'll probably break up. But if you're, you know, first, second, third date, and you could end up being in that early love period, and then you're quarantining with a person. I've read some really ridiculous, like, you know, in the time of COVID dating recommendations. They're like, if you have to have sex, wear a mask. I'm like, nobody's doing that, you know, like we weren't even that careful, like with regular
The dental dam
STDs.
is making a big comeback these days. The dental dam.
Yeah, it's like most men can't even be bothered to wear a condom. Like,
oh.
they're not gonna be like, let me get my gloves out, my mask, and let's do this,
Yeah.
you know?
And usually if you're wearing a mask, you have a red ball in your mouth anyway, so it doesn't even
Oh,
matter.
exactly. All right. That's how you are, Scott. Good to know. Mm. What's in your closet?
I listen,
Woo!
not that I know who any of them are, but who are some of the bigger porn stars you may have had come by?
Oh, I was this close to Stormy Daniels. I had
Oh,
like a
wow.
car, I had like an Uber ordered for her, and then she was like running late. I actually opened for her at the White Plains Comedy Club last year, right when it was opening. And sweetest lady, like so nice. And
Yeah.
a lot of people were like, wow, Stormy Daniels, she's not funny. She doesn't do comedy. What does she do? She did like storytelling, and she was quick. She had funny things to say, and everyone would be like, what is Trump's, you know, like how big is Trump's? I don't know if I can say it, but they're like, how big is Trump's, you know what? And she'd be like, the only thing smaller than that is his brain. And she had a lot of funny responses. God, who else? Christy Canyon, who was kind of big in the 90s.
Yeah, I
Gotten to
remember
know
her.
her.
True. I mean, I'd never heard of her.
No, never. Karma RX is pretty big right now. She's got like a lot of tattoos. I met her at AVN. I went to the AVN Awards this past January in Vegas. It was at the Hard Rock Hotel. Now it was rebranded to the Virgin Hotel. So it's going to be funny next year when they are having the porn awards at the Virgin Hotel.
That is funny.
God, and Emma Hicks, she was just named like a Penthouse pet. Jaden Cole, wow. She's a good friend of mine too, and she got like a lot of them. And I end up becoming like real friends with these girls, so it's neat, and it's been really interesting to find the similarities between like porn and comedy, and how it basically comes down to like the most entrepreneurial spirit kind of wins. You know, like if you can adapt and you know, just like find different ways to, you know, make income and, you know, like continually like working on yourself and growing. And yeah, so it's been good. I've met a lot of great girls and guys too, actually. So
yeah,
I mean, in some way we're all pimping ourselves out, aren't we?
Yeah.
Really? I mean, in some way we're all selling our soul for the beast in some aspects. Tell us about yourself. Like you did mention Amy Schumer. So when I look things up, Amy Schumer kind of comes with your name. Why is that? I don't understand.
We went to the same high school.
Oh.
She was in my sister's grade. It's weird how a lot of stand-up comics end up coming from Long Island. I think it's because there was a lot of chemical testing done there during the 40s. It's just like, yeah. And like I remember she was on the volleyball team. Like nobody is who they're gonna be in high school, right? Like you're still a little bud, you know, like you don't know what's gonna come out. But I remember my sister would be like, yeah, I guess Amy made fun of her a few times or whatever, but maybe she deserved it, you know?
Yeah, probably. Unbelievable. Chrissy, tell us, where can a lot of folks are asking where they could follow you and see you. So just, tell them tell them about Compound and where they could find you on Twitter and everything else.
Oh yeah. So the Wet Spot is on Compound Media every Monday, 8:00, compoundmedia.com. And I think if you use the code WetSpot20, you get 20% off the subscription. I think it's like $9 or $10. It's pretty affordable. And then the Chrissy Mayer podcast is on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, a bunch of new episodes coming out every week there. And then follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Chrissy Mayer, ChrissieMayer. And I'm on TikTok. I'm not 13, but I'm trying, so.
My friend is on TikTok, and she's saying that there's cooking videos on TikTok now. Is that really happening?
I guess so. They're just whatever we can do in a crop top. Let's make it a thing. Yeah.
Chrissy, listen, before you go, how many dates before two people can sleep together?
I mean, when I was single, it would be a date. It would be one date. Gosh, I mean, yeah, I would say if you can hold out one or two dates, okay, just to make sure that you can have a conversation with the person. It could be possible on the first date, you got too drunk. On the second date, you know what I mean? You want to make sure you have one mostly sober date
conversation.
Yeah. But also if you you can meet somebody really hot, all that goes out the window. I totally understand that too. Sometimes you just have to see what happens.
See, to me, I remember, Suk, you tell me if I'm wrong, but even if you were with somebody for a couple of days, right? I would always try to hold off for a week, maybe two. So this way, when it finally happens, it's you're just crazy to go do it. Rather than, it's almost like if you do it too quick, what do you got nothing to look forward to, even though you have the,
right?
Yeah, it's almost like, it's the anticipation of that first time after a couple of weeks, right?
I don't think kids nowadays.
No, nobody's waiting anymore.
I think everyone just wants to get and have some physicality, and then they'll figure out the emotional connection later on. But I think what's interesting is that I think COVID has challenged that a lot, where they've had to physically kind of remove that physical connection and kind of deal with that mental vibe and then move on from there. I think there's going to be a little bit of a course correction, or is everybody just when COVID's done, they're just going to be like little bunnies?
Yeah, I think we're really going to separate the germaphobes from the rest of the people, because those people they're going to be kind of tentative for probably the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely gonna be a group of people as soon as you get out and you get drunk, it's all right, it's hard to hold yourself back. But it is, I agree with you, Suki, because I think it's during the last few months, the online dating and the app downloads have been through the roof, and you kind of you have to rely on your witty banter. And if that's not clicking, then it's hard to stay interested.
Yeah. And then you could do your social distance dates, and then, all of a sudden, things are clicking, and you're gonna, it is human nature. It is
witty banter, Suki, witty banter.
I always say witty banter because at the end of the day, you can have all the physical connection, everything, but that foundation is what you need. I really believe that.
It's so true because me and my boyfriend went to Cancun, and it was right before the lockdown. We came back February 3rd or something like that. And we ate ramen at the Cancun airport, which I do not recommend because the next 3 days were woo. And we were so careful to not drink the water and the whole time we were there. And then we really got to know each other's bodily sounds. I think I heard every possible noise come at him and
ramen at the Cancun airport.
Don't do it. And then now we know. And it's now we know we're really in love, and we can get through this,
Yeah. And you know what? I think a lot of people are going to get married after this, because I do think the people that are able to survive through this, they're going to understand that it's short. Life is short. You're young for only a little bit of time, life just has a way of sweeping you up, putting in this whirlwind. And you just have to find that person that you could share that little adventure with.
It's so true.
It's never going to be perfect.
It's never going to be perfect with anybody. And I think what's been happening, I guess, since more dating apps, I guess the last maybe 10 or 20 years, people value their options. That is more valued than, okay, do I really like this person in front of me?
Yeah.
It's like you always think, oh, like let me throw it back. Maybe like there'll be something better. It's like you're going fishing and it's like, oh, this is great, but maybe I'll catch a whale.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
it's
we
like,
became very much a disposable economy, disposable with people, disposable with relationships, jobs. We had no value systems in place. And I think this is helping us reevaluate it for better or for worse. And even though we're having sort of a course correction when we're talking about what's happening out on the streets, listen, I think it's just par for the course for, rediscovering who we really want to be. And I think millennials are really leading the force. I mean, they are without a doubt unapologetic about their views, and I have to give them a lot of credit for moving the needle and moving hopefully the goal, that ball over the finish line. I hope they do it.
Yeah.
Hope they do it.
Chrissy, thank you so much for hanging out with us. This was great.
Thanks for having me,
Chrissy, you're
guys.
the best. We gotta say hello to Anthony. I know Anthony.
I will say hi to him.
Today.
You know what's funny? It's so funny because I was just with Anthony at the Bernie and Sid. We did a comedy night back in November, and I was talking to Anthony by the bar at the Hard Rock Cafe.
Oh, wow.
And he was telling me about Compound, and when we were I knew it from somewhere, but I remember he was telling me that he started this network.
Yeah, he
So
started
that
in
was
his
great.
house, and then he's actually during this quarantine, he went back to his house to do his shows there, and like each of
Yeah.
us did our shows from our own apartments. So it's like he had to reboot his
Incredible.
whole original Compound,
Yeah.
but the
And
shows
then
are still great.
I told him he reminded me of Springsteen, and then I went on stage and did my thing. But listen, you ever need me to come on and talk real sex talk
I would
about
love
my
that.
life? I got some
Yes.
stories for you.
Ooh.
Before marriage, before my sex life went kaput, I got some good stuff for you.
Yeah, let's talk about it for sure. Anytime. Both of you guys.
Well, there's so much
Absolutely.
I can talk about, Chrissy.
Well, we can do a cooking video together, Suki. We'll do
Let's
a TikTok.
Let's do it. Cooking with sex, Cooking
Yeah.
with sex. Cooking with a sprinkle of sex. I like it, Chrissy.
Chrissy, thank you so much. Good luck, sweetie.
Thanks, guys. Love you.
Take
you
care.
too. Chrissy Mayer, everybody. Chrissy Mayer. Wow, I
Chrissy
love
Mayer,
that.
Compound Network, Soup.
Anthony Cumia. That's incredible.
Yeah, boy. Remember Opie and Anthony? We're riding so big on
and everything kind of like
on NEW, right? They were on NEW for a while, and then they moved over to Sirius, and
yeah.
I guess Anthony left, and then he started his own thing, which is great. That was great. Good show. Listen, we got another good one coming up tomorrow night. Matt Frazier from E Network. Meet the Fraziers. He's like the biggest celebrity psychic medium right now.
Medium, yeah.
I told him he's got to read you. You got a lot of things happening around you.
Read you, read me. Hopefully, read some. Maybe I don't know if he can read any of our viewers. I think that'd be interesting.
And then Tawny Katane on Thursday. Remember Tawny Katane?
Here I go again on my own.
Going down the only road I never known.
Like a drifter, I was born to walk alone.
But I made up my mind.
I ain't wasting no more time.
So before we go tonight, let me show you a couple quick memes. You ready for this?
Let's do it, Scotty.
Sing it, baby. Let me hear it.
I saw a sign and it opened up my mind. I saw the sign.
Here we go. We got this is Suki, two identical twins married two identical twins, and they had identical twin babies.
Is that for real?
That is for real.
They had identical twin boys and girls? Yes. The identical twins?
Yes.
OMG.
Isn't that wild? All right, hold on.
Incredible.
The wife said, here's $20. Get the dog a jacket. If there's any money left over, get yourself a beer.
Said like the man would do. I love that. Look at the doggy jacket. Hysterical.
That's a good one, right?
That's a really good one. That's funny.
We got this one. When you get up after spending 46 minutes on the toilet looking at memes.
That's what my husband's been doing on the toilet. That's what he's been doing. I'm like, what are you doing in the toilet?
That's why he's limping around. Hold on, a couple more. Final stage of manhood, being able to grow 4 mustaches. Look at this guy, Sue. Ay. Let's see. We got the rabbit. Here's a cute one. This kid thinks these are real rabbits. He's trying to help the one up. See that?
Aw, it's a really cute one.
And then finally, no drugs or nuclear weapons allowed inside the restrooms.
What is that in the Pentagon?
I don't know. I don't even know where that is, but it is a
Hysterical.
sign somewhere.
That is funny.
It's great.
Anyway,
Wait, let me get rid of that one.
what are the
Bye-bye.
odds? That's funny.
All right. Good show tonight, Suk, huh?
You know what? I love talking to both of them. That was just Chrissy Mayer. I mean, what a doll. Love talking to her.
Yeah, very, very pretty girl. She's got a lot going
Funny.
on. She's funny. Love it. Very nice.
Okay. Good talking to you, Scotty.
Yeah, hey, good
talking to you,
seeing you.
Irene. Good
Good seeing you again, Suk.
it was good talking to you, Scotty.
Anybody you want to mention up here on the up on the board?
Barbara Morbita Irwin, I love your signs, makes me laugh. Irene Fitzhugh, applause. Sweetie Brookshire, good night to you. Beverly Harrison, Jennifer Stoddard, another good show. Judy Rogers, Chris Jacobs, George Gray. Chris Jacobs, what the heck?
I knew Chris would love
Rogers,
George Gray.
Brenda Woodruff, Aaron Myers, excellent show as always. Deborah A. Hannon. I don't know what we do without these people. They support us. They love us. Listen, Scotty and I were talking earlier. We're just going to let you think about this. I mean,
Summer
we love
Suk,
you all.
summer hours. You heard George's schedule.
I kind of feel like we need a little bit of summer hours, my friend. I mean, me and you, I mean, the
Yeah.
kids are just getting off school. I mean, I'd love a Friday and a Monday off. We were marinating. Tell us what you think about that. We'll do a full show on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And that's what we'll do. And maybe we'll do a best of on the other days.
I like it. And then we could just pop up anytime because everybody gets the they get the notification when we come on,
Yeah, 'cause
right?
Scotty's taking a vacay. I'm taking a whatever. We're not taking a vacation. You know what I'm saying?
Right this minute.
But things are coming up. So yeah. Anyway.
We'll be around. We're here. Tomorrow night, great night. Matt
Joanne
Frazier.
Fanfo wants Fan Friday. I think we have to do Fan Friday on Friday. Guys, have they been emailing us? Because the only person's email that I actually got was Jennifer Stoddard,
Suki,
Debbie Hollinger,
I haven't gotten any emails.
and Joanna. If you want to do it, I mean, just tell us that.
Suki, I'm going to leave you with one final joke this evening.
Because we would like to do Fan Friday, but we need to be able to get in touch with you. So you have to message us with your email so we could send you a link.
Suki, this is an oldie but a goodie. You ready?
Okay.
What's the difference between a tire and 365 used condoms? Difference between a tire and 365 used condoms.
Something with a load.
One is a good year. The other is a great year. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see. Good night, everybody.
Good
Suk,
night.
I'll talk to you tomorrow, babe.
See you, Bubs. Love you.
Good
Bye-bye,
night.
everybody. Bye, Debbie. Bye, Louise. Bye,